A short jogs bring me back to her house, and I take a seat within the bus stop on the street opposite to her. I ponder over if he's really gone, perhaps, and I missed him leaving, or maybe he's still dealing with business. After a few minutes, however, I'm proven wrong by the sound of an engine revving up and a new, expensive-looking performance car emerging from the driveway of Natsuki's house. It speeds away and around the corner within seconds, and once I'm certain that it's gone, I move over to Natsuki's house and ring the doorbell. I wait. Nothing. I press down on it again. Once more. No answer. Growing ever anxious, I knock on the door heavily, aggressively banging my balled fist into the door. A moment of silence. Then from the second floor window, I see a curtain pull back, a flash of pink, and just as quickly, it's replaced once more. I watch it intensely, waiting for a sign of movement until I hear the sound of the door chain being unhinged and the deadbolt turning. My heart is ready to jump out of my chest. I don't know what I'll be greeted by, but I wait nervously. Midas? What the hell are you doing here? Satsuki. Thank God. Satsuki! You alright? What happened to your bruises? What bruises, Midas? I don't know what you're talking about. She's playing dumb, even though I saw her. What could have happened to her? For her to be so devoted to keeping it a secret. Before I can reply, she grabs me by the collar of my shirt and yanks me into a foyer. Hey, how did you know where I live? Now's not time for that. Has she been drinking? I'll try to do my best. Drop Natsuki impression. Better question is, where have you been? I haven't been feeling good for the past few days. No need to be so mean about it. Does she expect me to believe that after what I just saw? Tsuki, I know something's wrong. I saw you at the hospital, remember? Oh, that? She giggles. That was nothing. Don't worry about that, okay? There's much worse to be worried about. What do you mean? Come with me. I could do with another glass anyway. I tried, guys. She gripped my she grips my arm loosely and tries to move me along with her through our house. As she moves, she begins erratically wobbling, as though she's having trouble walking. She holds tighter onto my arm for support. She stumbles and nearly trips. I catch her, wrapping my arm around her chest and pulling her upright. Thanks. It's not like her. Normally, if I grabbed her for whatever reason, she'd freak out and call me gross or something of the sort. But here, she didn't even flinch or say something about it. Something feels off. I release my grip on her reluctantly, as she's still staggering on her way along. I assist in moving her, now up the stairs, making sure she doesn't fall and knock us both down back onto the steps. We finally make it up the stairs. Itsuki guides me to her room. Her room's a mess. Her floor is littered with small, ripped pieces of paper. Rest in peace, manga. Rest in peace. Picking one up, I recognize one of the protagonists of Parfait Girls. The cover is heavy laminated cardstock, and it's ripped in two. There's no way Natsuki was able to tear that in half herself. Not only that, she had no reason to either. But I could think of someone who does. There's a large bottle of red wine, cap open, lying on its side on her bed. Only a small drip escapes, staining her bedsheet crimson. There can't be much left of it. I knew she'd been drinking. I could tell from the moment she opened the door. Natsuki, you haven't drunk all of that yourself, right? She looks flustered. Of course I have, you dummy! That's a bit much, isn't it? Eh, that doesn't matter. I haven't finished it anyway. She retrieves the bottle from the bed. I reach my hand out and take it from her. Natsuki? Nuh-uh, it's mine. She holds the bottle just out of reach and tries to push me away. She's too weak, however, and I simply move her arm aside. Come on, that's enough. Eh? Midas, please. I need this. Something about the way she said that sent a pang of dread through my body. Before I can reach my arm out to stop her a second time, the remainder of the bottle's contents are gone. Looking at her bed drawer, I see Natsuki's phone. It's overturned and I can only see her case. The case is glittery and pink. This I think it's nice, Midas. Natsuki. Talk to me. I know something's going on with your dad. Please. Just want to help. But I can't tell if you won't tell me what's going on. This is all the help I need. She collapses onto her bed and giggles. I haven't felt this happy in so long. I only grow more uneasy hearing that. Mm. If this is the length she has to go to in order to escape from her demon, just how bad is the demon she's trying to escape from? As Natsuki begins to snore, her grip on the wine bottle falters, and it rolls off the bed onto her floor. To my surprise, it doesn't shatter. Instead, it rolls under the bed. Shaking my head, I bend down to pick up the bottle that rolled under her bed. Reaching my hand underneath the bed, I can feel the wine bottle. And something else. What the? I pulled both from beneath the bed, placing the wine bottle in her bedside drawer, next to Natsuki's phone. I take a look at what I recovered. It's a white container, and it's made of plastic. Wait, this isn't right. It's a bottle of pills. Looking for a description, I inhale sharply as I realize that these are ibuprofen tablets. I might have butchered that pronunciation. I turned to look at Natsuki, fast asleep as I worried. Oh my god. I desperately checked the label on the back of it for a dated prescription. 2 days ago. She's trying to overdose. An icy sweat turns down my forehead as I begin to panic, running my hands through my hair. I'd just like to comment about the music again. It's so fitting. I'm getting chills right now, even if I can faintly recall this scene. She stops snoring. I violently shake Natsuki's seemingly lifeless body. Please, Natsuki, please wake up. I grab her hand. It's clammy, and much cooler than it should be. I put my ear next to her mouth to check and see if she's breathing. Thankfully she is, but it's faint. I take her by the shoulders and pull her into a sitting position. I crouch down next to her, supporting her. Natsuki. I contemplate calling an ambulance, but I'm worried that it'll draw too much attention to her house. The hell with it. I don't care what happens so long as she lives. I reach into my pocket and... My phone isn't here! I reach up onto her bedside table, gripping Natsuki's phone tightly. I bring it to my face and press the power button. The screen lights up, but from behind a shattered display. I try to make an emergency call, but the screen is unresponsive to my touch. Dropping the phone, I pull Natsuki in close to me, hoping and praying that she wakes up. Man, her sprites only add up to the suspense, and I love it. I begin to sob, terrified for her life. But Atsuki begins to cough erratically. I'm simultaneously panicked and relieved. She then opens her eyes and unsteadily rises to her feet with my assistance. Natsuki? Please tell me you're okay. She falls silent. Oof. Jesus. My nose is assaulted by a mixed scent of bile and wine. As it splashes on the floor in front of me, I realize that she got some on my arm. It stings. Well, at least that would have gotten the deadly mixture out of her body. But she's still in trouble. Now that's really bad if her vomit stings. Natsuki turns to me half-conscious, pleading. Midas, help me. She stumbles back, landing in the sitting position on her bed. I don't want to die. Look at me, okay? You won't die, you hear me? I won't let you die. Natsuki, listen to me, okay? I'll be right back. She nods weakly, barely aware of her surroundings. I need to find her something to eat. Hopefully it should absorb what's left of the alcohol. Bolting down the stairs, I reach the kitchen within seconds. Why don't you just carry her? She's as light as a feather. I swing open every cupboard I see, along with the refrigerator. Nothing. Not even a slice of bread. Just carry her, bro! I mean, canonically I can remember Natsuki's 411. When did Natsuki last eat? Exiting the kitchen, I look all around the house. Hurrying back to Natsuki, I check up on her. She's as pale as ever, but she's conscious at least. She weakly rises on her head to look at me. Hey Natsuki, I need you to pay attention to me, okay? Just, whatever you do, don't go to sleep, okay? Please. She tries to mutter something, but it's unintelligible. I have no choice but to leave her again. I've searched everywhere in the house besides her father's bedroom. As I approach the door, I notice that it's locked. I ran the door multiple times before the frame gives way. Sorry. I stumble on the floor, now littered with splinters. I rise to my feet and flick the light on. As I search the room for anything that could possibly aid Natsuki, something catches my eye. A few bags of various restaurants around town. I tear them open to find nothing but empty takeout containers. I return to Natsuki's room. You have to go, now. Okay. I help her to her feet, wrapping her arm around my shoulder, holding her hand in place. She'll make it. I'll make sure of it. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. Just carry her. It's faster. I mean, it'll be tiring, but she's as light as a feather. Just go. We make our way down the stairs. I help Natsuki on her feet, though it's proving to be more difficult as she fades in and out of consciousness. Starvation mixed with alcohol and painkillers. It's clearly taken a toll on her, but she isn't dead. We make it to the front door. With time feeling like a lost luxury, I shut it behind us, moving through the porch. I can feel Natsuki's tears soak through my shirt. We reach the gate and I set her down while I open it. I scoop Natsuki off the grass and close the gate behind us. Holding Natsuki close, I move as fast as I can down the street. We just carry her in a bridle position. That's faster. I just want to comment about the music again. It's just so good. As She approached the glow of the streetlights. I begin to feel relieved. I loosen my grip on Natsuki. Can you walk? Yes. I think. I set her down for a moment. Her knees buckled. Again I wrap her arm around me, and mine around her. Let's go. Okay. I end up supporting her the entire way through town. There's nobody about to call me. her looking suspicious. I almost I'm almost glad that she has a small figure. It certainly makes it so much easier to. That's why she's so small. Her father has been leaving her malnourished and living on fast food. Jesus Christ. Finally, I recognized the familiar view of my house. I set Natsuki down on my front step. I fumbled with my keys for a moment, finally unable to unlock the door. I helped Natsuki through. She's safe from her father at least. I bring her to the kitchen and sit her down on one of the chairs. Ah, Midas, why did you help me? How did you know where I... Why would I not help you? Don't worry about all that now. Let's just get you settled in for the night. I'm worried it'll be longer than one night. I have a spare bedroom in my house. She'll be able to sleep there. I searched through my pantry and my fridge for something she may like. I decided to just make some toast. Chicken noodle soup. Is that chicken noodle? I haven't had that in so long. Her words break my heart. How long? How long has she lived like this? I watch the clock as Natsuki eats. It's late. Now that the immediate panic is over, I realize that poor Natsuki is still drenched in her own stomach acid. Natsuki, I'm gonna need to get you change. What? Not here, silly. I mean, you can get change in the spare bedroom, but I don't have any of my clothes. You'll have to borrow some of mine. Oh, okay. But only because I have to. Natsuki seems to be in much better shape after her meal. She stands up on her accord to return her bowl to the kitchen counter. She moves slowly, but deliberately. Despite the stink of bile clogging up my nose, I'm relatively calm too. Natsuki's skin tone has returned to normal mostly. She still looks scarred by the night's experiences. Who wouldn't be? For Natsuki. Once she returns empty-handed, I ask her to follow me to her room. Come on, I'll show you where it is. Natsuki timidly complies, wrapping her arms around me. But this time it hurts. I inhale sharply. Are you okay, Midas? Yeah, we just barged through a door, so it must have been painful. My shoulder is in pain. The adrenaline of the situation has settled. Maybe barging through that door was a bad idea. Not only because of the pain, but the damage it caused too. And the fact you didn't find anything. When Natsuki's dad returns to the house, yeah, I'm alright. Don't worry about me. Let's get you cleaned up. There's a shower in the guest room that you can use. We reach the guest room, located across the hall from my own bedroom. I motion towards the edge of the bed. Here, sit down for just a minute. I'll be back with something comfy for you. She sits down. I rush into my bedroom, picking out one of my gray tops and a pair of jeans. When I bring them back to her room, she's struggling to take her socks. That felt uncomfortable. Because she's that weak. I place her fresh clothes on the bed and kneel down to help her take them off. She opens her mouth like she wants to say something but reluctantly lets me help. I mean, she has no choice. She's too tired. Atsuki has been through too much today. She has next to no strength left. Thanks, Midas. I can take it from here. Are you sure? I really don't. All the blood in my body rushes to my face. She's going to have to shower. Was I about to indirectly tell her I wanted to help? That's embarrassing. Never mind. It's fine. You take your time. I decided now isn't the best time to question Natsuki about her family. Instead, she just needs a soothing shower and some sleep. Maybe that'll take your mind off tonight's events, even if only for a few moments. Those few moments would do her a lot of good. As she stands to leave the room, Natsuki grasps my wrist gently. Midas, wait, I wanted to thank you again. Don't mention it, okay? Just glad I got there in time. Natsuki stares into my eyes. Me too. How did you know where I was? I walked home with Yuri. She was having a bad day, so I went with her. She pointed out your place. And ever since I saw you at the hospital, you haven't left my mind. That's why I decided to go. I tried calling you God knows how many times, but you never answered. I cast my mind back to Natsuki's wreck of a phone. I guess I know why. I saw every one of your calls. I couldn't answer because of the stupid screen. And all I wanted was to hear your voice. I couldn't. Just wanted to go back to the club. To sit with you under the window. To read more together. Because when you do, it's the only time I really feel safe. Well, not anymore. The emotion. I know that this isn't the only depressing mod, but you gotta admit it's one depressing mod. Her Pie Free Girls manga was torn apart. She looks down at the ground dejectedly. I leave Natsuki to shower. Excuse me. I had to take a breather. After getting changed myself, I sit on the edge of my bed, gripping the volume of parfait girls that I have brought for myself on the weekend. The water stops running and I can hear the en-suite's door being opened and closed. I wait for a few moments before knocking on her door. Natsuki, I have something else for you. Oh, Midas? Natsuki opens the door, looking healthy again. She's out of her dirty clothes, and is now wearing my shirt, along with her own pants. The top doesn't fit her very well though. The shirt's massive on me. I could get you a smaller top of mine if you... I like it. You don't need to, Midas. It's so cute. I present the manga to her. I saw what happened to your copy of Parfait Girls back at your place, so I thought I'd just drop my own in for you, so you can read it if you want. Natsuki gives me a weak but sincere smile. She reaches out to grab the manga. I love to, Midas. Instead of pulling the manga from my hands as expected, she instead grabs my wrist and tries to sit me down on the bed next to her. But only if we read it together. That's cute. It's the least I can do to make her happy. She needs it. So I do, in a way. First having to deal with Sayori's attempting suicide. Now Natsuki? God, how terrible must her home life have been for her to want to escape it like that? Well, I can take a guess, considering the complete lack of food in her house. And her face. And I saw her in the hospital. Christ. Hey Midas? What? You just kinda stood there for a moment, spacing out. God, you're worse than Sayori sometimes, you know? Hey, I'm sorry, okay? It's fine. I was only teasing, dummy. I know I shouldn't blame her. She doesn't know about Sayori's condition. And as far as I know, she hadn't seen her in the hospital. Regardless, that hurt me more than it should have. I moved the duvet to the side and sit down next to Natsuki. Again, I might have butchered that word pronunciation. She pulls the covers over the two of us, so we're sitting up with the drape over our laps. We decide to just start the volume all over again. Midas, you're so warm. Natsuki inches closer to me. We're now shoulder to shoulder. Natsuki, can you see it okay? Not really. I inch myself down into a lying position. Natsuki joins me. This scene's so cute. Much better. My left arm is awkwardly dormant between us. I slide it under the pillow and around her. There we go. We continue to read. This scene's so cute. Before I know it, she's fast asleep. Natsuki? I lay there motionless. I dreamed of this moment ever since I really got to know Natsuki. I hate that it had to come due to her circumstances at home, but regardless, I run my fingers through her silky pink hair. I brush her bangs to the side. She looks so peaceful in her sleep. What's this feeling? I feel a lump in my throat. Just the sight of her is enough to make my heart pound. I don't recognize this. Chest is heavy. Feels like there's a weight on my ribs. It's hard to breathe. This is the happiest moment of my life. That's kind of dark considering the circumstances, but I understand. As I drop the bag to the side of the bed, I accidentally press space. I'm jerked awake by the sound of crying. Confused, I open my eyes and turn and look at Natsuki. She's clutching the sleeve of my shirt, holding me tighter than before. She's sobbing into my shirt ferociously. Natsuki, are you... I realize that she's still asleep. Sighing, I lament over Natsuki's nightmares. I'm almost certain they're related to her family, but I give her a nudge to wake her up. As she seemingly begins to stare, I try to calm her. It's just a dream, Natsuki. You're okay. You're safe. Natsuki opens her eyes. Midas? That was more than a dream. I watched my dad kill you. I watched him torture you for saving me. He kept telling me this is my punishment for leaving. Midas, you shouldn't have helped me. This was wrong. This is wrong. Why, Midas? Why do you have to get involved? I can't let you do this. Natsuki jerks away from me. Natsuki, do you want to know the real reason I showed up at your house? I missed you. I missed reading with you. I missed reading your poems. And after the hospital, I knew something happened. I had to make sure you were okay. I was worried sick for days. I felt like I had to. I'd do anything to ensure your safety. I'd gladly be tortured if it meant you would be happy. Anything, Natsuki. Do you understand me? I'll do everything in my power to keep you safe. If my words right now aren't proving I mean it, maybe this will. I rise to my feet and walk to my room. I flick my light and rifle through my bag. Ah, there it is. You. It's been a while since I've seen this. You. I don't know what's happened, or where have you been? All I can think about is the bruises on your skin, the blood on your nose, dripped onto your clothes. That sight. The sight that broke my mind, where that thought I was frozen in time. I saw you, broken, abused. I knew from there on, I would save you. Day turned the night. You were on my mind. You on my mind. Mm. I've been sick with worry. If I'm going to do something, I need to hurry. Text after text, call after call. The girl I cared about most is the one I couldn't save after all. I'm getting goosebumps, guys. I return to the bed. Natsuki turns to face me. I hand her my poem. Natsuki reads, wiping her tears as she does so. Midas, I... Natsuki leaps from her bed and embraces me tightly. I return the gesture, wrapping my arms around her. We stay for a while, her tears soaking through my shirt once again. After a few moments, Natsuki eases her grip. I do as well, resting my hands on her wrist, hers hanging from my neck. Natsuki lifts herself up onto her tiptoes and pecks me on the cheek. That's so cute. I can't describe the situation. It's just so good. I want to go back to sleep, but I want you to stay with me. I nod wordlessly, and Natsuki gently escorts me to the bed. Laying my head on the pillow, she keeps her arms around me. We drift into the void of unconsciousness together.